Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, today we are going to take puzzle books like these and create something gorgeous. Stay tuned. Y'all, welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by, and welcome to all of my new friends and to all of my new subscribers. Welcome back to all of my longtime friends and longtime subscribers. We all have probably done some type of a puzzle similar to these. Well, today in this video, I'm going to show you how to take these cheapo puzzle books. They'll look just like this when you buy them, and we're going to turn them into something absolutely amazing. And you won't believe how easy it is to take all three of these puzzle books and turn them into something absolutely elegant. Y'all, I can't wait to share it with you. So let's go ahead, flip to that overhead camera, because y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here are the puzzle books that we're going to be working with today. They're just those cheapo puzzle books that you can get at the Dollar Tree. They come in many, many sizes, but what I tried to do was I tried to find some that were similar in size so that I could put them all together in one beautiful place. And here is that beautiful place. Y'all, I absolutely love how this turned out. I am a big believer in putting a beautiful dress on something that is very inexpensive, but once you dress it up, it looks very high-end. And that's what we have here. So when finished, mine is going to measure 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 by 1 inch. You can make your book size as large as you want, but I let the size of these determine the size of this. So we're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to walk you through the process so that you can see how I actually did it. Now I'm going to be very gentle with this one because it is still not completely dry yet, but whenever I make a book like this, I like to let it dry for at least 4 hours before I even handle it, and then I prefer to let it dry overnight so that it is completely set up and I can open it and I can place it flat, however I want to do it. But I am just going to be very careful about opening this so that you can see that my pages are in there. They just need drying time. So I'm not going to try to open this all the way, but y'all, this is what we're doing. We're going to take these puzzle books and put them in one convenient location so that you can challenge your mind in many, many ways. So this is one that's the word find. I'm sure we've all done these. Crossword puzzles, and then number puzzles. Let me show you what I'm going to be doing. I am going to take my 3 books and stack them like this because I am going to trim away the bottom. The bottom is simply the page number, and I am going to trim that away. I'm not trimming away anything here on the side because they're pretty much the same size, but I want to trim through until I have all 3 books the size of the top one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my electronic cutter. But for those of you who want to make this, you can just take your finger blade, match these, and cut through like this. So when you cut through this one, you can take that top book, place it on this one, and start cutting here to get the right sizing. Then, once I have cut off the bottoms, y'all, I am going to use my electronic paper cutter to cut off my sides here. But you can cut these off in the same way. You simply take something with a straight edge, a ruler, whatever, and you just start cutting through. And along the edge, you don't have any of the relevant puzzle part, so all you have to do is cut through and then cut through the next book and cut through the next one. It really is a very easy process. Just start with a very sharp blade and you will be able to do it. Now I'm going to add an Amazon link to the electronic paper cutter that I use. Y'all, it was sent to me a while back by the company, and I use this thing every day. My sisters come over and use it. Mike comes over to use it because it cuts a variety of things, and it cuts through chipboard like nobody's business. So let me go over and cut these, and then I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I cut through this entire stack once this way and once this way. It only took 2 cuts on that electronic paper cutter to cut this entire stack. So all I'm going to do is I am going to leave the puzzle book name, but I'm going to remove the last page. And then I'll just take this white page here and just put it in the back, just so that I can have a nice front and back to this. All right, y'all, so what we need to do first is we need to go ahead and glue the insides, and that means we need to figure out the inside jacket for this. So this is almost 5 1/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to go ahead and round that up to 5 1/4. And then this is 7 7/8. I'm going to go ahead and make that 8. So what I have here is a piece that I have already cut at 8. I'm going to take this piece and we're going to score it at 5 1/4. And I'll fold it like this. And y'all, this is how I will determine how big my spine needs to be. So I'm going to press everything in like that, and then I'll just wrap it around like this and pinch. That's going to tell me my spine. So I'm doing this the very easy way. So where I had that pinch point, I'm just going to make sure everything is even here. And then I can crease, and I know that I have my jacket the way that I need for it to be for the book. But I need to now come in and take that crease point that I made, line it up at 5 1/4, and cut. So that this back side is 5 1/4 and the front side is 5 1/4. So now I'm just going to give this a very nice crease. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my books, stack them like this, and add my clips. Then I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of glue here in the spine. And then we're going to add our glue here. So I'm just going to be very generous with my glue, y'all, because that's the key to making this work. You need to make sure that you have pretty good glue coverage. Don't worry about getting those fingers all gluey. That's the beauty of crafting. You make a mess. And I am just going to get this nice and covered, and I'm making sure that I don't have any non-covered spots. So now I'm going to take this, grab it by the middle, and we're simply going to put it in our jacket like this. Turn it around, make sure that I have everything inside of my little spine here. Then I'm going to take my big old spatula, and I am just going to go along that back to get everything nice and stuck. Again, we want to make sure that we have the best possible stick on this. And if you wanted to do it soft bound, I guess you could stop right here. But we are truly taking this to the next level and beyond. So y'all, I'm just making sure that I have a good stick all the way across. So now I can take this, and I'm just going to place it right there out of the way so that we can make our jacket. So again, I'm going to bring in this piece that I was discarding, and it is 5 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and round this up to 5 1/2 because we are making the jacket. Then we have this piece that is 8. I'm going to go ahead and round up to 8 1/4 because we want it to be a little bit larger than what we have on the inside. So that is why I padded my number from 5 1/8 to 5 1/2 and from almost 8 to 8 1/4. So I'm going to bring in my chipboard, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 8 1/4. And I am going to just go ahead and cut through that. And now we'll cut 2 pieces at 5 1/2. And another piece at 5 1/2. And I'll just break that a little bit, go in with my finger blade, and then just cut. And so now I need to cut a piece for my spine. I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 8 1/4. By 1 1/4. I think that should be wide enough. And I'll just break it a little bit so that I can cut. And so all I did was, I knew that this is about 1 inch thick, and I gave myself a little bit of buffer by making my spine 1 1/4 inches. So I added 1 inch to how wide this is. So now I'm going to cover my chipboard in tape, and y'all, I will be right back. All right, y'all, so I have the tape on the back of my chipboard pieces, and I have 2 pieces of beautiful Prima paper. This is from the Painted Floral collection, and it is called More Pink Flowers, Please. And I am just going to join these together. I don't need to use 2 12 by 12 pieces, but I just decided I would go ahead and join 2 together. And it's okay if I add that extra to my scrap pile. So I am using my 1/2 inch tape, and I've placed that 1/2 inch strip along the edge. And now I'm just going to take this piece and join it together with this piece. You can use your rolled paper, your wrapping paper, contact paper, fabric, whatever you want to use. You can certainly give that a try. So I am just going to get that nice and stuck, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to take our chipboard pieces, and I'm going to start with the back piece because I want the seam on the back. And then I'll be able to place down my pieces just like this. So now I'll just peel away my tape backers, and we're going to place these down. So I'll take this piece, put it right here, because I definitely want that seam to be in the back. Then I'll take this piece, and I'm going to place it down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. Then I'll take my last piece, and I'm going to put it down right here. And y'all, I flipped my paper around so that I could place it over here, because it's just easier for me to place my chipboard pieces when I'm going towards the right for some reason. Might have something to do with the fact that I'm right-handed. So I am just going to take my finger blade, and we're going to trim off this excess. And I'll trim off some of this excess. And then we'll trim away some of this excess. And now I can take my stylus, press it against the chipboard, and just drive it into the paper to break the fibers a little bit. One thing that I do know about my Prima papers, they're a very thick paper. And so I do have to work at keeping them from cracking, especially when I double up. So one of the things that you can do when you're making a notebook like this is give yourself some increased space in between the chipboard so that there's not that tension with that thick paper being forced back and forth, back and forth. Go ahead and just give yourself some extra spacing. It's not going to hurt anything. So I am just standing this up so that we can train our paper to fold over. Then I am going to miter my ends. And now I'm going to use a tape runner to add some tape to these pieces to fold over. And I can do that because I am going to have this sandwiched in between a liner piece anyway. So I am using my tape runner. And I can see that a little bit of cracking did occur at that point. So I am just going to take some glue, put that glue underneath where the cracking happened, and let's see if we can't get this to go down. And I can fold it over. One of the things that I can also do that you won't even notice that it cracked is I'll be able to take some distress ink of some type and I can go around and age the look of the book so that it doesn't even look like it cracked. So I am going to go ahead I'm going to place my glue right here. And I placed glue instead of tape just because I'm so used to placing my glue that I just grabbed the glue bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this down. And then I'm going to hold this while I put it down, and it's still cracked, and that's okay because we're going to fix it together. So I am going to take my glue, place my glue right there, making sure that I get that paper, fold it back into place so that it's not sticking up. And y'all, paper cracking is going to happen. It happens to the best of us. There is not a paper crafter out there who doesn't have paper cracking. You might not see it in the videos, but our paper does crack on us just like it cracks on you. And this paper did crack, and I am going to try a repair technique once we get this made. So now we have the inside, y'all. I'm just going to take some tape and we're going to cover the inside in tape because we are going to figure out the size of our inside liner, and we're going to place it down. Okay, so to figure out the sizing for the inside liner, I am going to put this in, and I can see this is a little bit longer than 12, so we're just going to keep a 12-inch piece this way, and then this way we know it's 8 1/4, so let's go ahead and reduce by 1/4. So here's the paper that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 8. And we'll be able to take it and put it down on the inside like that. So before I do, I need to add tape to the 4 corners so that we have total adhesive coverage. So let's just go ahead and put down our tape. All right, so I have my jacket covered in tape on the inside, and I have tape around the 4 corners of this. We're simply going to peel away the tape backers from both. I am using a double stick tape, and then we're going to join these two together. And then we're going to take this, and we're going to put it down like this. And then we're going to make sure we get everything nice and stuck. Now I'll work that spine. And y'all, when I work my spines, I come at it from one direction, find that spine, and then I go in and I make sure I have a good crease stick, and then we do it from the opposite direction. So over to this side, pull in until you find the spine, and then let's just work it. And so now, y'all, we have a very beautiful cover for that puzzle book. I am just going to go ahead and grab it. It is not dry yet, but it's drying very well. We're going to take this and we're going to put it right here in the middle. And we're going to do that by simply adding glue to the back here. Just going to take my finger and spread that glue. Go ahead and get some of this glue off of my finger. So now we can take it. And y'all, I'm placing it on the spine. I am not placing it where it will hit the spine fold. So I'm just going to clean up some of that glue. I'm going to turn it over and just get it nice and stuck. Then again, I can rub it against my desk because we want to make sure that we have a really good stick. And so now I can just flip through gently so that y'all can see that we have this really beautiful little puzzle book. Y'all, I haven't decided what I want to do to the front, but I just think that this book is so stinking cute and it's so upscale. If you're going on a long flight, this is a great way to pass the time. If you're just sitting out in the backyard and you want something to do besides stare at the birds, this is a great idea. If you really want to keep challenging your mind, this is an awesome way to do it. So no matter if you're making these as a gift, to keep, or to sell, I think that they are a fabulous idea. And you saw how easy they were to make. I almost forgot to share my little cracking repair tip with you. So I have some distress ink and it's Ranger Walnut Stain. And I chose it because it's going to blend in really nicely with that crack that was there. When we dab in just a little bit of stain of some type, you can even take a metallic pen and go in, you're really able to minimize that damage. Then if you wanted to, you could just go along the whole book and add just a little bit of distress ink, not a lot, just hit it in a few places, and that way our cracking is barely noticeable. So that's one of the ways that I fix cracking when it happens to me. So y'all, I hope that you have enjoyed the awesome way we can take those puzzle books and join them together to create a really nice multi-puzzle book just like these. If you have enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.